And happy Memorial Day. Gonna get started here. If you can't see my screen, please put a message in the chat box, or just wait for the recording to be sent out. But today I'm going over something that has been talked about over the last couple of meetings, but I haven't really gone into full detail. So this is what I want to kind of focus on today. Um, I'll try to be as fully covered as possible when I'm explaining these. But if you don't understand it or have any questions, please feel free to give me a call or send me an email, and I can go over it again and over the phone with you, kind of on a one-on-one basis. So our email address and the phone number is up there. My name is Mark Figueroa. Some of you have talked to me, some of you have not. I mainly do the contracts, put these together, several other things. So Ray is out today. But I wanted to go over something called direct mail. So direct mail we think of as just maybe some postcards, things like that. And I want to go over exactly what direct mail is to me. Direct mail is targeted. So the Direct Mail Association or Direct Marketing Association, we have some statistics here. Direct mail has a 4.4% response rate compared to a 0.12 for email. So that's a huge, huge, huge difference, and I'm going to show you that actually on a graph here in the next slide. But just to soak that in, direct mail has a 4.4% response rate. Now, that's a response rate. The delivery rate is something like 98%. So when you're talking in capacity of email, the delivery rate on email is way less. The open rate and the response rate is even worse. So it's effective. Direct mail is effective. So again, 98% of people check their mail on a daily basis. So if 98% of people are checking their mail on a daily basis and 98% of the mailboxes, the pieces of mail are going to the right person, you can say that 98% of people are going to look at what you're sending out. So if you're sending something out, it's going to get seen. And it's cost effective. So the return of investment on email marketing is about 4 times higher than direct mail. And so I'm not here trying to sell you direct mail pieces. I'm going over the statistics, going over just a couple of marketing ideas for you so you can maybe approach farming and leads in a little bit of a different manner. So the statistics. In an email campaign, like I was saying, the open rate is extremely low. The click rate is even lower, and the bounce and unsubscribe is, it's not as high as I thought it would be because people keep their emails up to date. But so this is out of course, out of 100. So out of 100, you're looking at maybe a 21% open rate, which is really high. So that's a really high open rate. With direct mail, again, we were talking 98%. 98% is open. You don't have to worry about clicks or unsubscribes, but your response rate is at 4.4. So the green is what we're really looking at in both of these, and you can see in graph that it's actually a lot better with direct mail. So again, I'm just kind of setting up the groundwork for what I'm getting into here for you. So target marketing. Target marketing is when you're marketing to people who already buy the product. So you can do that by purchasing lists of existing clients or use your own existing clients. And I'll go over an example of that. You market to people who have to have the product. For example, business owners or business partners. That's going to be something like, I have an agent in Georgia that works with someone that does business loans, and she writes term life for key person insurance. And we have Transamerica and a couple other carriers that do that. And so she works directly with this person that writes the loans, and they give her the business to write the key person insurance, so that way the business owners are covered in case one die, or the loan is covered if the sole owner passes. So that's a nice partnership. Marketing to people who are likely to purchase the product. So a turning 65 crowd, for final expense, or new homeowners for mortgage protection. So these are different areas, and this is just a couple of different ones. You can market to new parents. You can market to basically anyone. And here's where some of the statistics go in. 84% of Americans would agree that most people need life insurance, but only 70% said they needed any. 41% of Americans don't carry any life insurance at all. Now, those that do, about a third of them have just a basic group policy. So there's a huge portion of the market that's really untapped when you're digging into select groups of people. So some people have seen this. This is what you might think of as a as a direct mail piece. Okay, this is not what I'm talking about. This is those little pink-colored postcards that you send out, and it's $500 for 1,000 with a 1.1% return rate. So you're literally paying, what is that, like $200 a lead, if that, or $100 a lead, $50 a lead, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I know that some of the agents were getting these. I don't agree with this. It may work in your area, but I feel that these have been so saturated in areas that they're just not working. And so if you haven't seen these, it basically says, there's a new program available in your state that the government has made funds available for final expense. It's a state-regulated program, and if you qualify, it'll pay for 100% of the funeral and final expenses, costs. It basically sounds like it's a government program that's providing free insurance, and they send it out to people that have income under $30,000 in the household. So, excuse me, that's really just not something that is effective to me. And there's just better options for you. So this is not what I'm talking about. What I am talking about is a direct mail piece that's going to go to certain individuals. So this is a screenshot of what we went over. We have a YouTube video on how to access this. This is through Mutual of Omaha. If you're not contracted with Mutual of Omaha, you let us know. You can sell Mutual of Omaha over the phone, so you don't necessarily have to go to every single address, when you do purchase leads, or if you are going to utilize this marketing campaign. But this is a system where they provide information for specific groups of people, including phone numbers and addresses. This is the quick picks. You can change. So, for example, this one is ages 68 to 77, ages 66 and over. There's long-term care for baby boomers. There's new homeowners turning 65, young families, so people that just might have had a child. So these are all things that you can specifically target and purchase a list based on. The lists start out at $50, and the ones that I've checked out, you get about 1,000 names on the list. Now, you can select the box where it's only going to give you ones with phone numbers, and they are scrubbed against the do not call. But I would suggest getting ones with phone numbers and without phone numbers for this purpose. If you have any questions on it or need help, if you are an agent with Mutual, you can actually call this number, and they'll walk you through the whole process, or you can give us a call again, and we'll help you out with it. But just keep this in mind. This is an example of being able to purchase a list, and one of the least expensive ones. So we use that. Has anybody ever seen a Bowflex commercial? This is kind of a terrible example, but this is an example of a Bowflex commercial. And the point that I'm making here is that Yes, they're selling the machines essentially, but the whole entire half an hour infomercial, all they're wanting to do is have you call to get a free video and a free brochure. And what they're doing is they're using education that empowers the client and helps build credibility. So it's the same thing. They're building a list. Okay, so they're building a list based off of sending out free information. And so what we're going to do is kind of do the same thing, but that's going to help us. And so, this is another example. You don't necessarily have to direct mail, but this is something, while I was looking for statistics, this is what they want me to do. They want me to put my name and email address in there to send me a free peek of this book to continuously market to me. We've always seen this. We see pop-up ads, put your information in so you can keep marketing. So we know what it is. We just see it in a different manner. We see this on the web. We don't necessarily see this in direct mail. But when you take in the web statistics, right, especially if you don't want to get the mail. I mean, there's one thing. If you click on this and you put your information in, you know you're going to get mail. You may say, okay, that's fine. I'll let them advertise to me. Maybe they'll send me a good deal. But what if you get someone that didn't want the information? They just wanted to get that free look and try to get that information. They don't really care about it. They'll move on, for my purposes. So those statistics that I showed are probably even worse than that open rate, that click rate. I'm not going to respond to it. So we see this all the time, but we don't see it in the direct mail. So this is what's the point? On the right-hand side here, we have a PlanRight brochure. This is from Foresters. This is available for free. It's in the back office. You just got to log in and go to it. So the point is you're going to offer potential clients valuable education, and you can use materials available from the carriers to create custom content or use what's already made. For example, 5 things to know about life insurance, or 5 things to know when turning 65. You can create custom content that pertains to these subjects and target market those to those people that fit this category. So the turning 65 category that I pointed out. If you're offering free information to these folks, to a group of people that are probably going to need it, it's more interesting than trying to sell somebody something. Hey, you're turning 65, you need this. No, you're going to educate the client by offering this free information. You're going to send it to them. The ones that will want to buy now, they'll contact you right away. But you're going to also just continue to market to them. Maybe, hey, 3 more things to know, or new information shows that, folks turning 65. So, for example, here in Texas, folks that are 65 and older that own their own home qualify for a tax program in Dallas and Tarrant County. I'm not sure anywhere else. I'm sure it's other counties, that they can defer their taxes on their property until the property sells. So basically when they pass. So there was an agent here that was writing these policies using Medicare leads and Medicare clients that he had acquired over the time. And they were doing single premium. They were doing second to die life policies, to where he was hitting them at the right age, where the policy was based off of the healthier of the couple. The last to die would usually be the healthier one, but for example, let's say the husband dies, wife stays, there's still no taxes on the property. He would help them enroll into this program through Texas to not have to pay taxes, use their tax money to pay their premiums, because they're probably on a limited income or they don't want to pay. So they had, of course, higher premiums, but they weren't paying taxes. So they use that to pay for their premiums. The policy's still in force until until the last one passes. When the last one passes, that life insurance money goes to the beneficiary, which is, let's just say it's the kids. Then the kids can pay the taxes, whatever was deferred, out of that amount of money. So it's basically like leaving a legacy to your children, or leaving a legacy to your family, but not having as much tax issues or as much taxed on their estates, things like that. So there's just a different way of marketing these things. And you can do this off of just direct mail if you're hitting the right client. So this is just an example of what you can do with direct mail. So now here's another one. I know a lot of the agents have bought leads recently. This is an example of a follow-up. And literally, I did this on the computer in about 5 minutes. And you can go to the store and get these printed out, cut them out of cardstock, stick a stamp on there, and it'll be even less than what the prices I'm about to go over. So this is just a simple, my name is Mark, licensed, I received your information. You indicated your family covered, may not be covered financially. After you pass, I'd love to help you out. Now you can put, I'll be in your area, this day, I'd like to stop by, or you can just put, hey, please call me for a free consultation. But this is just a simple example of making that extra effort and taking that extra step to try to contact your client or your leads versus just a phone call and an email. So this is just the pricing. So for example, right here on the right-hand side, this is a postcard that I made. Literally, again, took me 2 minutes on Vistaprint. Free guide on protecting your new home mortgage. And the little logo is not necessarily what you would want to use for insurance, but this is just an example. For example, this one right here, 100 6x4 postcards is roughly $25. Vistaprint's always running special deals. $3.50 in stamps. You could print brochures if you do some high quality paper. With color, you're maybe $10, and that's just that PlanRight, just simple page, and that's going to vary based on how many people are responding. Mail labels, $6, and then the list, about $50 for 1,000. So it's about 5 cents for 50. So if you do the breakdown, it's about $45 for 100 postcards sent. And that could change anywhere from $43 to $50, but still, at $50 for 100 postcards, you're basically getting your message in front of 100 people. Now, I'm not saying to use this marketing technique to build your entire pipeline, but what it is it's another way to have almost an automated system. If you sit down for one day and you pop out 100 or 200 postcards and you farm an area, let's say that might be kind of right outside of the area that you might want to drive, but if you get 3 or 4 people that are interested, maybe you'll go out there. This is just that extra way to market on top of what you're already doing. And if you're not already doing something, it's a very inexpensive way to do it. $45 or 50, let's say $50 for 100 postcards sent. Now, we know that the open rate is better. It's 98%. So, at least let's just say 98 people, and even worse, let's say 90 people look at this postcard. If you send it to the right crowd, that's your target audience. So it makes sense to them. It pertains to their life. So you're already half the battle. You're in their realm of understanding. They're going to say, oh, well, I'm turning 65. They know this. Maybe I need this brochure. Right? If you get that brochure and let's say 5 people say, you know what, I need to talk to this person, you've already built your credibility. Credibility comes from that knowledge that you're giving them. They're already going to think of you as an expert in your field. You are licensed. And at that point, it's just personality and building rapport and getting to know that person, whether it's over the phone or just via your, maybe pieces of information. So you're going to want to put in that brochure that you're sending them, your business card on there, or how to contact you, or something of value. But what you don't want to do is try to collect phone numbers right away. If they say, hey, call me, I need to talk to you, then great. But really utilize it as an opportunity to just get your message in front of people, allow them to contact you, and if they don't, you continue to market. You do what you're going to do. You maybe send 1 or 2 more pieces out. But this is not a method to hammer down on people to, hey, you need to call me right now. That's a whole different market. This is a market where you're going to get the people. It's kind of like the low-hanging fruit. You're going to get the low-hanging fruit. You're going to give the information to people where they feel confident enough. Hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. This girl knows what she's talking about. This lady knows what they're talking about. I want to talk to them about what my family might need after I pass. So wanted to, again, just briefly go over that. Getting your message in front of hundreds of people at a time. That's what I want you to take away from it. And it's very, very simple. It's very cost effective, and it's very easy to do. I've done it myself. So if you have any questions, make sure you email me, give me a call. I'd love to help you out and go over it. If you do have any questions, we appreciate you being on the phone call. Again, we'll have this sent out via recorded YouTube video, and just wanted to show you guys one of the things that that you may not know is when you're going to YouTube, if you go to the video here, if you subscribe, there's going to be a subscribe button on here. Well, unfortunately, I can't show you here. Give me 1 second. Okay. I got to go to a different video. I can't subscribe to my own channel. So if you subscribe here, you click this red button down here at the bottom right. Once you hit subscribe, there's going to be a little bell. And this little bell here is going to be the notifications. And so if you're using your phone, you want to click that and make sure that you're getting notified. There's two little lines that'll pop up around that. And that's whenever we post a video, it'll notify your phone if you are signed into your account on your phone. It'll push notify you on your phone. So that way it'll just pop right up and say, hey, we posted a new video, and you don't even need to necessarily worry about checking out your email or, checking out the website on a whim. So just wanted to kind of briefly put that in there. So again, appreciate you joining me. If you have any questions, shoot me an email or give us a call. Have a great weekend.